The title of the exhibition is actually, in my mind, a wrongful translation of a psychoanalytical term. So the term is from Freud, das Unheimliche. In English, that translates as the uncanny. To me, I was more interested in this idea of in unheimlich, heim means home. So what interested me in his notion of the concept was the idea that home is the kind of central site within which the strangeness or the uncanny begins to emerge. For me, the show begins in the reading room. The photographs features a black androgynous mannequin that was manufactured in the 1980s. And I wanted to enhance a kind of paradox between rot and decay, which I've added in the photograph with the fly, and a very CGI-like plasticity that totally resists the idea of obsolescence. In this room is the work 70E1. The title is kind of meant to be reminiscent of how we catalogue bodies, organize them historically through language. Obviously there's a very, very long history of vitrines in themselves being objects that are either ethnographic, museological, or very much commercial. I obviously wanted to blur and blend all of those histories together and enter almost this idea of the fetish and reliquary. Something that was really important for me was for the hand to challenge that, so it's not placed on a pillow. I wanted it to enter the vitrine more like a thief. To me, it's also a question of absence, a body that's missing on the other end. Gallery 3, it starts with this video showed on the video wall that depicts two characters, which are very much, for me, a reimagination of both film scenes and my own family home growing up. I don't try to make distinctions. They're part memories, part grieving, part something lost, but they reappear as something very real. I have based it also off of scenes particularly from 1970s cinema, mainly because I'm interested in the utopias at the time. We find characters that are very much broken by their utopia, brushing against their own upbringing. It's less to do with their individual behavior and a lot more to do with social organizing, technological organizing. So the technology and the architecture as well was something that I really wanted to enhance. I very much insist on showing the videos as a wall. The idea is that there's a very direct relationship between the viewer's body and the videos. You're looking and you're standing and you're walking. The maquette is literally a quotation from the video. It's the space that it was filmed in. I wanted to look at this staircase in this way that is almost elegant, but of course this elegance contains degrees of violence which are made much more explicit by the content of the video and the sound of the creaking. The creaking to me was a sound that I wanted to introduce that both responds to what is happening in the video, but also the idea of being a stranger in your own home, when you want to hide. It's a sound that oddly is about not wanting to be heard. And then the last part is the little annotations that you find around the room. So some of them are present in the video. Some of them were present in the staircase, and the idea is that as much as I dealt with figures that are from the 1970s, the staircase is of now. So I wanted to introduce a space of time that is contemporary, so it's not lodged in the past, it contains this element. Cameras do create a process that have a very weird function when it comes to time, and it also has a very weird function when it comes to thinking about I and it. So again, it's this uncanny relationship, this idea of familiarity and not placing violence as something far, but as something that's very quotidian. It's something that just runs through the exhibition, and me working with cameras, which I think really complicates it in terms of how they create immediately a filter of representation that is of a death mechanic.